Imagine a garden, not just any garden, but a paradise where every need is met, every desire fulfilled. This is the Garden of Eden, a place of perfection created by God. In this garden, among all the trees, there stands one that is unique, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It is from this tree that the story of humanity's fall begins. But why, one might ask, did God place this tree in the garden knowing that it would lead to such a monumental event? From the very beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and within this creation, He placed Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. This paradise was abundant with everything they could ever need, including the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God gave them a simple command. They could eat from any tree in the garden except the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. However, as the story unfolds, Adam and Eve succumb to temptation and eat the forbidden fruit, leading to their expulsion from Eden and the introduction of sin into the world. The question lingers, why did God create the tree of good and evil, knowing it would lead to such a monumental fall? To answer this, we must journey into the depths of free will, obedience, and the intricate tapestry of God's greater plan for humanity. At the heart of the story lies the concept of free will, an enigmatic gift bestowed upon humanity by God. Free will is the power to choose, to decide between right and wrong, and it is this freedom that defines our humanity. Without free will, love, trust, and obedience would be meaningless. God created the tree of good and evil as a symbol of this profound gift, a testament to the freedom given to Adam and Eve. Free will is a double-edged sword. It allows for genuine love and obedience, but it also opens the door to disobedience and sin. By placing the tree of good and evil in the garden, God provided Adam and Eve with a choice. This choice was not just about eating a piece of fruit. It was about trusting in God's wisdom and love or relying on their own understanding. Imagine a world without free will, a world where humans are mere puppets, controlled and directed without the ability to choose. Such a world would be devoid of true love, trust, and relationship. God's creation of the tree of good and evil was a way to honor the gift of free will He had bestowed upon humanity. Without it, our relationship with God would lack depth and authenticity. The tree of good and evil also served as a test of obedience. God did not create robots programmed to follow His commands without question. Instead, He desired a relationship based on trust and love, which requires the freedom to choose obedience over disobedience. By commanding Adam and Eve not to eat from the tree, God was giving them a clear choice, to trust His wisdom and love or to rely on their own understanding. The presence of the tree of good and evil highlighted the importance of obedience to God. It was a test to see if Adam and Eve would trust in God's goodness and wisdom. Their failure to obey resulted in the fall, but it also set the stage for the unfolding of God's plan of redemption. The test of obedience was not just about the immediate choice, but about understanding the profound consequences of turning away from God's will. Consider the moment when Eve stood before the tree, the serpent whispering doubts and questions into her ear. The fruit, tempting and beautiful, represented more than just food. It symbolized a choice between obedience and rebellion. In that moment, Eve's decision echoed through the corridors of time, a choice that would shape the destiny of humanity. In that sacred, almost surreal moment, Eve's fingers brushed against the smooth surface of the forbidden fruit. Her heart pounded with uncertainty, the serpent's insidious voice weaving doubts and desires into her mind. The fruit glistened, promising knowledge, promising power. The choice lay before her, to trust in the love and wisdom of her Creator or to grasp at the unknown, to defy the command that had been so clearly given. It was a moment that would reverberate through eternity, shaping the course of human history. When Adam and Eve ate from the tree of good and evil, the immediate consequences were severe. They became aware of their nakedness, experienced shame, and were expelled from the Garden of Eden. Sin entered the world, bringing with it pain, suffering, and death. The fall of Adam and Eve is often seen as a tragedy, but it also marked a pivotal moment in the story of humanity. The long-term implications of the fall were even more profound. It affected not only Adam and Eve, but all of their descendants. Sin became a part of the human condition, and the world was no longer the perfect paradise God had originally created. However, this fall was not the end of the story. It set the stage for God's plan of redemption and salvation through Jesus Christ. The consequences of the fall were grave, but they also highlighted the need for a Savior and the depth of God's love for humanity. Picture the scene: Adam and Eve, once clothed in innocence, now aware of their nakedness, hiding from the presence of God. The weight of their disobedience pressing down on them, the realization that their choice had brought pain and suffering into the world. This moment of awareness and consequence is a profound part of the human experience, a reflection of our own struggles with choice and obedience. Imagine Adam and Eve, now shrouded in guilt and shame, their once pure and unblemished spirits now marred by disobedience. They hid among the trees, their hearts heavy with the realization of what they had done. The perfect communion they had enjoyed with God was broken, replaced by a chasm of sin and separation. Their eyes, once filled with the light of innocence, now clouded with the burden of knowledge and the shadow of their rebellion. The consequences of Adam and Eve's disobedience did not end with their expulsion from Eden. Their choice set off a ripple effect that would touch every corner of human existence. Pain, suffering, and death became the new reality for humanity. Relationships were strained, the ground was cursed, and labor became toilsome. The harmony that once existed in creation was disrupted, and chaos and strife entered the world. Consider the profound impact of this single act of disobedience. It altered the course of human history, introducing sin and suffering into what was once a perfect world. The repercussions of Adam and Eve's choice are felt to this day, in every aspect of human life. Yet, amidst this darkness, there is a glimmer of hope, a promise of redemption that would come through Jesus Christ. The story of the fall is a reminder of the fragile nature of human obedience and the far-reaching consequences of our choices. It is a story that resonates deeply with our own experiences of temptation, failure, and the longing for redemption. Despite the fall, the creation of the tree of good and evil was part of a larger divine plan. God's intention was not to create a perfect world where humans had no choice but to obey Him. Instead, He created a world where humans could choose to love and trust Him freely. The presence of the tree of good and evil was essential to this plan, as it provided the opportunity for choice and growth. The fall of Adam and Eve set in motion a series of events that would ultimately lead to the coming of Jesus, who would provide a way for humanity to be reconciled with God. The tree of good and evil was not a mistake, but a necessary part of God's plan to bring about redemption and demonstrate His boundless love and mercy. Consider the greater tapestry of God's plan. The fall was not an unforeseen accident, but a step in the journey of humanity. Through the fall, the need for a Savior became evident, and God's plan for redemption unfolded. Imagine the profound wisdom in God's design. The tree of good and evil was not merely a test, but a crucial element in the grand narrative of redemption. It set the stage for the ultimate display of God's love and grace. Through the fall, humanity would come to understand the depth of God's mercy and the lengths He would go to restore what was broken. The story of the tree of good and evil offers profound lessons for humanity. It teaches us about the importance of free will and the consequences of our choices. It reminds us that obedience to God is not just about following rules, but about trusting in His wisdom and love. The fall of Adam and Eve also highlights the reality of sin and the need for redemption. In our modern lives, we can apply these lessons by recognizing the significance of our choices and striving to live in obedience to God's will. The story encourages us to seek a deeper relationship with God, one that is based on love, trust, and faith. It also reminds us of the hope and redemption available through Jesus Christ, who offers a way for us to be reconciled with God despite our failures. Imagine the lessons we can draw from this ancient story. The importance of choice, the weight of our decisions, and the hope of redemption. These lessons are timeless, resonating through the ages, speaking to the core of our human experience. Thank you for joining us on this fascinating journey. If you found this video enlightening, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insights into biblical stories and their hidden meanings.